Welcome to the 5 for 2 podcast with me, your host Adele, where we say no to careers where you're trading 5 days of misery for 2 days of fun. A place we discuss all things career, confidence, and money moves. I want to motivate, teach, and empower ambitious women to achieve more, earn more, feel more confident, and enjoy the work they do. It's all about believing you can have everything you want in your career and then going and getting it. So if you're ready, let's get into it.
Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm going to dive straight into this because this is a question that everyone asks all the time, and it's about going above and beyond. Everyone wants to know, do I really have to do the most to get the most? We all want the big salary, the promotion. Not all of us want the promotion, to be honest, but we all want the big salary. Let's be honest. In this economy, we need the big salary, and in life in general, who doesn't want the big salary in exchange for having to get up early in the morning, go to work and do the work that we need to do? So do you need to go above and beyond? Now listen, this answer is a weird one, but stay with me. The answer in short is yes. The long answer is no, you don't need to do all the things all the time. Do not be like me. When I first was going above and beyond, what I thought that meant was coming in early, leaving late, doing the work of 10 people. Yes, like, don't get me wrong, 10 is an exaggeration, but I was at least doing the work of 3 people. I thought that is what you needed to do. And to be honest, all that got me was burnout. It did teach me that I am able to do more than a lot of other people, but literally working myself to the bone. I always wanted to be seen for all my hard work. I wasn't necessarily vocal, but I was always doing all the work, saying yes to all the projects. Like I said, coming in early, leaving late, putting in all the hours. I was available to my boss 24/7. If they were texting me in the evening, texting me on the weekend, texting me while on annual leave, I would respond. I would respond to clients. I would respond to everyone. I was always working. And sometimes even now, it's really hard for me to break that habit. Even though I've broken the habit, I kind of haven't broken the habit. However, this is not what you need to do to get ahead. I did all of that. And yes, it got me ahead, but it also got me burnout. I felt like I was sick all the time, but I found another way to be more strategic. I got the exact same results doing less. Now, do you need to go above and beyond? Yes, but only 10%. And you need to allocate that 10%. And that's what's really important. You need to resign your thoughts and put your head in the space that, yes, I do need to go above and beyond. A lot of people are like, no, you don't have to do anything extra. Yes, you do. Because how do you stand out? If you're doing your job description, you will be paid for your job description. Like, when you're going to negotiate, what are you going to negotiate? You're going to say, oh yeah, I've done what you told me to do. Okay. So you're getting paid what they said you'd get paid. Doesn't mean you can't still negotiate. Don't get it twisted. But it does mean it's harder to negotiate the massive pay jumps. It does mean it's harder to get the big promotion if that's what you're looking for. So what do we need to do with this 10%? So that's what I'm going to talk about today. It's going to be short and sweet, but I hope it's going to give you everything that you need. So do 10% more than your job description. Remember, 10%, that's all I'm saying. And whether that's cross-department, now that's really interesting. Like, can you do cross-department work? Can you help people in other departments? Are you good at a range of things that don't sit under your job description? Because that helps you be an asset. If you've listened to my episode on being an asset, people that are good at their job and everyone else's job. And again, only 10%. We don't need to do all the things. But if you are good at other things than just your job, you become the go-to. You become the person that's harder to replace because you can't just do one thing, you can do 10 things. So then when they start doing redundancies and layoffs, they get rid of the people first that can only do one thing because they're like, well, you can do one thing, but Adele can do your job and a bit of her job, all of her job and a bit of your job and a bit of someone else's job. So actually it's better to keep her because we're saving on costs because she can also do that. Think about it. So can you do 10% more than your job? Do your job every day, but can you also help people in other departments? Can you volunteer for projects when they come up? Again, you don't need to take on all the responsibility. 10%. I'm going to keep drumming on about this 10% because you only want to do 10% more than your job description. And this is only for things like becoming an asset, being hard to replace, getting more money. Like, this is why we're doing the 10%. If you don't want to do the 10%, don't do it. But me, if they're going to listen at work, they're always going to find ways to slip extra work to you. They're always going to find ways to make you do more than you should be doing. So I'm going to strategically do 10% more so that when I come to you and say, give me more money, I have receipts on top of receipts on top of receipts. I am known across different departments. I am known to be able to do that. Oh, Adele knows a bit of it. Adele's really good at XYZ, but she also knows a little bit of this and that. Yes, she does. Pay me. Also, if you're trying to get that promotion, you want the pay rise that's tied to that new title, doing 10% of work that is in the next job. Usually, when we're ready for a promotion, it's because we're already showing signs. Like, you're not in leadership yet, but you're already actually, your team comes to you all the time. So you're all the same level, but they come to you and ask you for stuff. So you're already doing 10% more than your job because you're actually leading without having the title. Start doing things in the role above you. Start solving problems from the role above you. Start supporting your boss with more senior tasks. That's 10% more than your job description, but it's 10% that will get you maybe a 30% pay rise instead of the rubbish 2%, 3%. It's the one that will help you negotiate the bigger pay rise. It's the one that will help you get that extra 5, 10K on top of your current salary. So I want you to do 10% more. When we talk about going above and beyond, yes, in your career, in a good career that moves forward quickly, that gets pay rises quickly, that doesn't just trudge along like the 2% every year. And all these people you see that talk about, I got a promotion. I got 7 promotions in 3 years. I got a 5K pay rise. It's because they're going above and beyond. I've seen it as a recruiter, as someone in HR, as a HR manager, as a hiring manager. The people that go above and beyond are the people that I pay more money to. That's the reality of it. Because I'm thankful, I'm grateful and appreciative. The people that make my life easier as a boss, they're the people that I pay more money to. They're the people that get the promotions quickly because they're the people I notice because they're doing 10% more than they need to be doing. And then the other way I want you to use the 10%. So when you're not going above and beyond in that way, like I've described, the other way you can use the 10% is allocate it to your career growth. Use that 10% of time to do additional networking. You might not do networking normally as part of your job, but I want you to use 10% of your time and start networking. Talk to the more senior people. Get some FaceTime with the decision makers. Network with colleagues that you maybe don't necessarily speak to on a day-to-day basis, but they might leave one day at being at a company that you want to go to that you need a referral for. Spend your time networking. Like, use some of your time. Go to networking events. No, none of us want to go, but let's just go. Especially if you're an introvert like me, we don't want to go. But let's go to the networking events, whether they're online, whether they're in person. We don't need to do all the in-person ones if you're an introvert. Pick a couple for the year and go. Bring a friend. Share your wins. A lot of you are winning. You're doing great things at work, but you're not sharing it with the decision makers. You're not sharing it with your boss. Yes, it feels cringy. I know you don't want to be like, oh yeah, well, I did this XYZ recently. No. I don't care how cringy it feels. It's not going to feel cringy when the extra money's in your payslip. I want you to go and have those conversations and share your wins regularly. Don't just wait for your appraisals. Share them in when they're asking you, like, what have you been up to? Slip in the win. Share it. Talk about it. Get involved in training or projects that upskill you. You can use 10% of your time to do that because those projects and that training that upskills you is going to help you when either you decide to leave or with your personal development when you decide to go for the next role within your company or you decide to go and ask for more money. It also helps you with your personal branding. The more you upskill, the more you develop, the more you can focus on your personal branding. And that 10% should definitely be allocated at times to personal branding because you want to be known for something in your industry. You want to be known for something at work. Being an expert in a specific area or the go-to person, that is so key in building your personal brand. Like my personal brand, when it comes to my coaching, I am known for helping people get 5-figure pay rises. I have built my brand on that. Whenever I help someone do it, I talk about it. Yes, I do the cringy thing and I share my win. Why? So people know who I am and what I'm known for. In my work, I'm known for problem solving. I streamline processes like no other. I will get a process together quick. And that is what I'm known for in my 9 to 5. problem-solving systems and streamlining them. Now, I am not tech savvy or a person who can do all the tech, but I can see a problem in a system and be like, right, this is where we need it fixed. And I can go and get the people that I need to help me and get the problem fixed. I reduced a payroll system that we had, and I hate payroll, by the way. This payroll system took like 3 or 4 days to do. I reduced it down to like the first part of the payroll system took 2 days. I reduced that down to like 4 hours, 4 to 6 hours, because I had to help do it one day. And I was like, yeah, we're not doing it like this. This is taking too long. So my need for things to move quickly, my need for things to not take forever, especially things that I don't enjoy, means that I can see holes in processes and streamline. I am known for that, but I have spent 10% of my time building that personal brand. So helping people streamline their work, helping my colleagues. I'll be like, oh, you can do this quicker, and showing them, showing my boss things that could be done quicker, going to my boss with solutions and saying, listen, I noticed that this problem keeps happening, but I was thinking we could try X, Y, Z. What do you think? I already know it's going to work, but I'm still going to go to my boss and go, well, what do you think? And then that gives me the visibility because I'm sharing, look, I think this is how we can do something. And if it works, I win. I'm front and center. They remember. I test, I try. If it doesn't win, I'm the first one to go to them and say, listen, I tested and tried it. I don't think it's going to work, but I've got another solution. You see, because not everything's going to work out. Sometimes things that you think are going to work out fail. If they fail, you're going to talk about, oh, well, what about this? Always be ahead. That's your personal brand. Everyone's personal brand is different. What is your personal brand? Are you the person who's excellent at communicating with the customers? How can you spend 10% of your time showcasing that skill, developing that skill, doing projects that help you expand that skill so that people can see you and know you for something? So these are the things that we do to go above and beyond. Like I said, it's going to be short and sweet. You need to be going above and beyond if you want the big pay rises. I'm not talking about the regular every year pay rises. I'm talking about the big pay rises, because you need to be known for something. You need to be the person that's top of mind. How are you top of mind? Because not only do you do your job well, but you do 10% more well also. Supporting your boss is always a good one. Listen, when you make your boss's life easier, of course you're going to be top of mind. Even if you're not the best person in every other area, you help them get their work done, which makes them look good to their boss. If you're making them look good, they're remembering you. They're going to make your pockets look good or make your job title look good. And remember, we don't take job titles without the pockets looking good as well. So you need to be thinking along those lines. It's about being strategic. Again, don't be like me. Don't do all the things and burn yourself out. It is so unnecessary. And realistically, it doesn't get you any further than the people that are only doing the 5 or 10%. And yes, sometimes you can get away with just doing 5% more. I said 10% because it's a good number. So remember, 10% of your time doing more than your job description, or networking, sharing wins, getting involved in projects, and building your personal brand. Utilize that time. Your 10% doesn't just have to be focused in one way. Focus it around all the things that I've talked about. But if you want that 5-figure pay rise, if you want that promotion, if you want the opportunity to do the best projects at your job, then you're going to need to be the person who goes above 10%, because it gives you receipts, it gives you talking points. And when you go to have the conversation with your boss, you have all this evidence. You're not just sitting there like, oh, I do my job well. That's great. And that will get you a pay rise if you know how to utilize it and be able to talk about the results you deliver. However, the people that do 10% more, you have 10% more results. 10% more people to advocate for you, because when you're doing 10% more than your job description, you're helping 10% more people, whether that's your department or another department. They are advocating for you. They're talking about you. You're the liked person. You're the office known person. That 10% goes a long way. So no, you don't need to come in early. You don't need to stay late. You definitely should not be available 24/7 for your boss and your colleagues. All that does is burn you out. But you can strategically use the time that you're at work and do 10% more than what you're employed to do. I hope that helps someone who might be struggling to get the promotion, might be struggling to get the pay rise. 10% more. You don't need to do it for the next 10 years. You can do 10% more for the next 3 months and see a massive difference. And then continue to do that 10% if you continually want to see growth in your career. Like I said, I hope that's helped someone. Anyone who wants support in the new year in my long-term coaching program, book a consultation call and let's get chatting and let's see where I can help you move your career along, especially in this current job market. 2026 is not looking any better than 2025. So everyone who's like, I'm just waiting for the job market to get better. It's not getting better right now. It's chaos. People are still getting ghosted. Jobs are being put up and then pulled down. Budgets are changing. Listen, whole departments are being moved offshore. I need you to understand the job market is the job market right now. However, we can still win through this job market. If you need just a one-off session, I'm still doing one-off sessions this year, but I don't have any space for long-term coaching. So like I said, if you are interested in working with me, book a consultation call. But remember, at your current job, do 10% more. At your next job, 10% more. You will see a massive difference in what you're able to get and all the leverage that you'll have in your career. Anyway, like I said, hope that's helped someone, and I will speak to you in the next episode.
I hope this episode gave you exactly what you needed and motivated you to confidently take steps towards your next career move. If you enjoyed it, screenshot and share it on your socials, tag me on Instagram, and come join my community of amazing women working on leveling up their confidence and career. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.